Minority Leader in the House, Nancy Pelosi, referencing this letter that actually was tweeted out by the president himself, in which the first announcement is made that the Singapore summit is not going forward. Among the outreach, though, is a future line in here. If you change your mind having to do with this most important summit, please do not hesitate to call me or write. The world, and North Korea in particular, has lost a great opportunity for lasting peace and great prosperity and wealth. This missed opportunity is a truly sad moment in history. With that, let's bring in our panel from Washington. Tom Rogan, commentary writer for the Washington Examiner. Amy Walter, national editor for the Cook Political Report. And Molly Hemingway, senior editor at The Federalist. Tom, your thoughts on how it all came down today?
Well, I think the basic point here is that President Trump is leaving clearly opening towards continuing this summit on June 12th as had previously been arranged. And I think actually, in my impression, that is what will happen. What I think you see coming behind the scenes here is a pressure calculation on the part of the Chinese to see how far they can push President Trump. I think this cancellation was directed at Beijing as much as it was at Pyongyang. But also on the secondary part, Kim Jong Un recognizing that the symbolism of his attending the summit is as complicated as some of the concessions that he might be expected to make. But I still think ultimately this summit will go ahead on June 12th.
Well, to that point, Fox News alert here, according to Reuters, just within the past few seconds, North Korea says Trump's decision to scrap U.S.-North Korea summit is not in line with the world's wishes, and North Korea saying it is willing to resolve issues with the U.S., according to state-run media. This develops, by the day, by the hour, Molly.
Yeah, I think this is disappointing news, but not completely surprising, particularly in the last couple of weeks where you were seeing that North Korea and the U.S. were really pretty far apart. North Korea was proposing something more along the lines of what we've seen in past decades, where they have an aspirational pledge that they will eventually denuclearize. And the U.S. was saying that's not going to work anymore. We want it up front. We want accountability. We want a clear timeline. So they were far apart, and we'd heard that communications had really broken down. But I agree with Tom. This is not the end of the line. This is part of the negotiation process. And so what will be interesting, and what's interesting about this Reuters report, is I think people were careful to see whether North Korea would say, we do want to make this happen and we're willing to work toward it, or if they would respond with their old pattern of missile tests and other belligerent attitudes. So, but it's a long ball game still.
Yeah, Amy, we're now getting officially from the South Koreans, Yan Hap, that North Korea is willing to talk with the United States anytime in response to this decision to pull out of the planned summit, saying that they want to resolve the issues. So I guess, you heard Senator McConnell earlier say the next step is North Korea's, and it seems like this is
They're taking that step. Yeah, this is what I'm fascinated to watch is the way in which Americans are reacting to this. Take away just sort of the back and forth here in Washington. But in polling, what we've seen in the last couple of weeks is that across the board, this is Republicans, Democrats, and independents, we're giving the idea of a sit-down between the president and Kim Jong Un high marks. They liked this idea. And in fact, in the last CNN poll, the president's handling of Korea was the thing that people saw as the most positive thing he was doing. He got his highest marks on this. So I think overall, what the American public is saying is, we kind of like this idea. We don't really know where it's going. We've never seen anything like this before, but let's try it. What happens, though, if this does go wildly off track, or if the summit never happens, or if there's more saber rattling from North Korea, or South Korea does something, we kind of, if there is a continuing sort of chaos, does that then ultimately impact the way that voters not just see the president, but ultimately the way that he's able to handle any other foreign policy or any other foreign policy crisis?
Right. Tom, quickly wrap this up.
Yeah, look, again, I think the North Koreans know that they have an interest in at least sitting down at the summit. Beijing wants that. They want to see if Trump is malleable. The letter suggested he is not. I think it goes ahead, and I think ultimately that message that we've just seen there is that is as nice as it gets from the North Koreans. So, cause for optimism.
That's a love letter, right? Panel, thank you.